Hey guys, what is up? What is up? Hope you guys had a good New Year's yesterday, today, whatever. um, yeah. Sometimes, guys, when I play that song, sometimes it will give me a issue, and yeah, it doesn't usually block my video, but it'll block it in certain countries. And if anybody has ever done the channel before, you'll notice with Billy Joel songs that is the case. For whatever reason, he is very, very, how can I put this? I guess stingy with the sharing of his music. I don't know why, but it is what it is, you know. But I like that song, and I think it's appropriate for what, you know, kind of what's happening right now and what's going on with everything and all of that, you know. Yeah, exactly, Tab. Exactly. Too much truth. It's just what it is. Hey, Trish, what's up? Yeah, no kidding. You know, Mark Pyers did a rendition of that too. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to see if he can't make me up one. I might even use it in my intro to, you know, maybe in his style. Kind of add, maybe even change the lyrics a little bit. And add some current stuff that has happened. Okay, good to see you there, Pagan. Angela. Isaiah. Good to see everybody here, guys. I hope everybody had a great New Year's Eve and everything. Let me say hi to everybody here real quick while I get this going. IG, Jacqueline, Tab P, G513 in the hizzy, Julie, Michael, Randy, Darby, David, Tulika, George. First for the first time, huh? There you go. You get the cookies for today. Just kidding, just kidding. Penny D, Charlene, Catherine, Darby, George again. There's Bob. What's up, Bob? George again. KC, Don, 513 in the hizzy, Becca, Tab P, Randy. Okay, guys. I am going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to call into Mark's show here in a few minutes after I get off stream. And we will, hopefully you guys will come over there and listen. We got some, I can talk about stuff over there that I don't talk about here. Because it just simply doesn't apply to what we do here, you know. Hey, Scooter Pie, how you doing? Good to see you. Anybody from Emergency Management Associates, you know, guys, you guys are awesome over there. Ron's awesome. Ricky, she started her channel up, and yeah, yep, IG, you're from there too. Hey, Trinity, good to see you. Hadn't seen you in a minute. Hope you're feeling well. Third Time Productions, what's up? Julie Watson. But yeah, I will be, you know, guys, I will be calling in there. Let me get that back up here. So hopefully you guys will come over there. Mark's starting to drop new albums now. It's going to be what he makes on his show, and he's actually making albums. I think his plan is to do one roughly around once a month. He hasn't done that in 13 years. That's pretty significant, guys. You know, I like to think that maybe all of us had a little bit of something for him. Maybe, you know, kind of boosted him a little bit to try, you know, his morale, wanting to get back into doing that kind of a thing. Let's not forget that, you know, he was a finalist in VH1 Song of the Year a few years back. Hey, Menacing, what's up? We can't forget that kind of stuff, you know. So he's definitely, yes, I love, Ron's awesome. I need to give him a call. He tried calling me the other day, and I couldn't answer. I was in the middle of some family stuff. And, matter of fact, I even forgot to text him. I feel real bad about that. I've just been, yeah, guys, just to be honest, I've been trying to take a break, unplugging from this for a minute. It's just been, yeah, it's just too, sometimes this just gets to me sometimes. I have to be honest. The negativity that comes with this, even though I put it out in a positive way, it really does get to me. So I have to back away sometimes just for a second. Usually it's just a day or two, and I'm good. And that's kind of what's happened here. If you noticed, I wasn't doing a couple streams a day. It was just more like one, you know, that kind of thing. So, but regardless, also I want guys, thank you guys for all those that have been donating. I appreciate that so much. You guys don't know how much that actually helps. I'm so glad you guys are willing to do stuff like that and push me into doing that. Maybe see this thing just a little different. I think. I was pretty stingy about that, guys. I had a pretty raw view on people that, well, there's a difference of putting like what I'm doing right here with my PayPal link and just constantly beating people over the head with it. There's a huge difference. I'm going to mention it in the beginning of my video. Sometimes I mention it at the end, and that's it. You're not going to hear me talk about it. It doesn't need to be talked about like that. If people want to help, they will. You don't have to slam it in their face. You just don't. And regardless, nobody's expected to help. That's the other thing. And I want people to understand. I never expect anything like that. Again, this is all kind of new to me. But there's my P.O. box there too, because I know some people don't like to use the electronic thing. So, yeah. What'd you say there? 2022, NASA says impact meteor-sized house hits the Atlantic Ocean, Bermuda Triangle. 22, huh? 2022. Wow. That's actually something we can research because, that's still what? At least a year off. And hold on a minute here. Yeah, we can't be having that. If that's actually what's going on there, I don't know what's going on with that. Did I see that right? Somebody please tell me that is just a joke. Mods, can you guys look into that for me? Please. So, yeah. So, yeah, guys. I don't know what's with that meteor. I don't know really what's going on with that. That's actually the first I've seen that. So, but yeah. So, thanks, guys. Sorry, guys. I had to stop there for a minute. When I see comments like that, I don't want to delete that. But, oh, that's the name. Never mind. I thought somebody was telling somebody to shut the F up. My bad. Sorry about that. If that's your name, all's good, okay? That's crazy. Oh, good one. You had me, man. Wow. You had me going, girl. Woo! I was about ready to get on that. We're going to take a look at it, Jerry. I really, this is really, I'm going to try to make this a pretty quick one. Just kind of stick to the info and stuff. Yeah, I know, Jay, man. I just don't. Yeah, sometimes when you kind of skim through that stuff and you see, you see the SFTU on there, it's like you stop for a second as a channel creator because you're wondering what in the world's going on in my chat, but that's the name, so it's no big deal. Anyway, so here's a Schumann. I don't know exactly what you're speaking to there a little bit, Jerry. Yeah, I know. I'm not seeing anything crazy. Yeah. So, am I missing something, Jerry, or is it you just asking what the Schumann was doing today? Oh, okay. Okay. No, okay. I didn't know. Maybe I'd missed something. That's the only reason why I was asking like that. But yeah, it looks like things are kind of quieted down quite a bit, actually. So, yeah, not much to talk about here on the Schumann level. There's always stuff that we could sit here and look at and try to pick apart and stuff. But I think one of the main things I want to stress tonight is the fact that we have to understand that these things are, and I say this every video, they're regional, almost local. Okay? So understand that this is just the resonance over there in Russia. That's what this is. Now, I know how to get the one that's in, I think, Spain and Italy, I think. But they, like I said, that again, that's just regional too. But I want to say this too. If there is a global Schumann resonance change or something that causes it, that maybe happened from space, and we can kind of point back to it, this does give us a really good idea. Okay, no matter where you're at in the world, if you get those big events, that's what happens. And I was watching Verte, and he kind of was touching on something that I speak about a lot. In with that, if you got tendonitis in your ears, he actually uses this example. I use this example all the time. If you're having ringing in your ears, headaches, all that kind of stuff, the very first thing you need to do is to figure out if it's a medical reason. Not this. Okay, we can go look at this. And yes, we can say, hey, look at this. And, I had ringing in my ears and all that kind of stuff. But do not neglect the fact that you could have something physically wrong with you. Okay? Yeah, it's tendonitis. It's not tendonitis. It's, tinnitus, I guess, is how some people would pronounce that. But, yeah. So that's kind of what I want to say to that. How do we piece the local human regions together in order to gauge how the planet is doing as a whole? That would be a huge undertaking, Sheila. That would be something that would have to be done by somebody a lot smarter with a lot more data input than what I have. I don't know that there's even anybody that's ever tried to do that. It's actually a great idea. So, it's just, tinnitus. Oh, what'd you say, Jerry? Did I miss something? It was on one of my news feed. It showed yellow into the next bar up. He said the last time it happened, it was snow, not this time. Oh, okay. I see. Because sometimes they will say that there's snow and stuff on these antennas that cause these big, huge spikes. But it's not always like that, okay? Because weather can cause these things to mess up. You can see all kinds of crazy-looking things. But yeah, I think Verte was talking about that a little bit. When we see a weird thing happen on these tools, and we can't go find out where it came from. We go look, we try, we look, and we can't find anything, then we're left with nothing more than to think that something happened. Okay? I mean, what else can you think there? When you look at stuff and you can't find anything, to kind of explain what happened, then you're left with two options. Either to believe it's a real signature, or it's a technical flaw of some sort that we didn't know about. And most of the time, we can rule out that technical flaw stuff by doing certain steps for whatever we're looking at. So then you're left with something did happen. So that's the kind of steps that you have to go through to kind of vet what you're trying to find and look at. And with the Schumann, it's really hard to do sometimes, because it is regional. So I want you guys to understand that. But this regional tool can show a global event. So that's what I will say. The big events are going to show up probably on every tool out there. Hey, Jacanata. Good to see you, Mama Bear. Dolores, good to see you. So, and that's... Hey, Sheila, what's up, Cindy? But anyway, that's what I want to say on the Schumann subject, because, with us being kind of quiet right now, and you get one little spike somewhere, where did it come from? And it makes you really wonder, and makes you dig into stuff. And in an odd way, it's kind of good, because you learn the tools, and you learn how to research it a lot better when it's hard to find. So, in a way, it's a good exercise for everybody to do. And I encourage everybody, please, don't take take what I'm saying 100% true fact. Go look at it for yourself. Go research this stuff, guys. You know, I never want to steer anybody's mind. I don't. I'm just showing you how to look at the observations, my observations, and then I'll give my opinion when needed. That's where I draw it, you know. You guys aren't stupid. You guys are smart. And no matter what I say or do, you're still going to believe how you believe. So that's why I hold no grudges, none of that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's move on. So, you see in my thumbnail, we were talking about models that were disagreeing with one another. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here in just a second, okay? You got solar X-ray flux up here, right? That's for, you know, checking out flares, pretty much. And notice we had a couple small ones, nothing big. Proton flux, that right there is what we look at for radiation storms. That doesn't typically affect us here on the surface. Okay? This stuff here is more worrisome for people that fly and for astronauts. Now, don't get me wrong, we get an S5 storm, yes, we're going to talk about it because it can. Stuff like that does make it to the surface sometimes, but not always. Believe it or not, our atmosphere does a pretty good job of blocking most everything. It's not as strong as it used to be, but especially our magnetics. And we'll talk about that in a second. Geomagnetic activity, guys, we're actually kind of low. Just so you guys can see this. You see this down here? It's not so low that they're going to issue a cosmic ray alert or anything. But if this bumps back down and stays on a 0 for any length of time, they will. Hey, CJ, what's up? So, geomagnetic activity, guys. That's just a simple fact. I've said this 1,000 times, but I'll say it again. We need to be about a 3. That would be perfect for us, right? Because it blocks the cosmic rays, and we're not into storm level where we're going to have, like, you know, a geomagnetic storm so bad that it'll knock out power and things like that. So we need to understand that some of that stuff is good. Most anything we talk about space weather, we need a balance of it. We usually need some of it, but we don't want all of it. Okay? It is a very strange thing. But that's true. If you guys really think about it, it's true in almost all aspects of your life. Everything in moderation. Anybody ever heard that before? I'm sure you have. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, it sounds stupid because we're usually talking about like food and stuff like that when we use those terms. But guess what? Space weather is good in moderation. Okay? Maybe I could coin that phrase. Who knows? But I'm just saying. Now, check this out. Coronal hole. This is directly Earth facing right now. So we can expect a solar wind stream to hit us from this coronal hole in about 3 days. We probably started connecting to it yesterday when it was back here. Okay? But it takes a while for those to get here. They travel, and they got to go 93 million miles to get here. And they're not moving at the speed of light. They have mass. It's charged particles. Okay? It's plasma. It's gas that has a charge. That's what it is. So, anyway, if we look at this, we now have this one here too at the same time. So we're probably, and even down here. Okay, so all 3 of these we could definitely get some solar wind from. They're all lined up right now. Now, I want you guys to understand is that in 2021, okay, right now, you can start expecting to see a complete uptick in everything. Coronal holes, sunspots, CMEs, solar flares, all of it. We're probably going to see a drastic spike this year. That's you can go back and look at the historic data in a sun cycle. In the second year to the third in a sun cycle is usually a pretty good jump in activity. Okay? So as we look at this stuff, we have to understand this. Now the coronal holes, they can take up almost the whole face of the sun. Sometimes, there's sometimes you look at it in these angstroms and you'll see, like, what in the world? The whole sun's black. Well, first off, it's not black. This is not black. Okay, just understand this. This is what this model has assigned this to look like, is black. This is the 195 angstrom. Okay, that's the visual spectrum it's looking at. That's the wavelength of light that it's looking at. It sees nothing else other than 195. And they assigned it this orange color. They could have made this thing purple, black, pink, or yellow, whatever they wanted to do. They can assign it whatever color. With that being said, if it's only looking at this one angstrom, they do this so they see certain gases. Just because this is black, there's other gases showing up. There's other gases there. Okay. Now, yes, this can show us coronal holes, because as you'll see, if we look in the other angstroms, it's going to be black there too. So that's telling you that it is opened up. So with that being said, and believe it or not, this here is much the same. Just because we don't see these lower frequencies behind these big spikes, because the big spikes in the front, doesn't mean these lower frequencies aren't happening, because they are. All right, visible sunlight. You can see here this sunspot here is starting to rotate off. So this other one here, that's the one that was actually throwing some flares off, this back one. Okay, now ACE data, everything's normal. I ain't got nothing else to say there. Just being honest. But is the high density scheduled to hit on the 6th, perhaps tied to the storm brewing in the Pacific Northwest? No, sorry, Sheila, it's not. The high density, that stuff, the density coming from the sun doesn't affect the Earth at all, weather patterns or anything, until it hits us. So they don't figure this stuff in, Sheila, to any kind of weather reporting. This is not on any of their models or any of that. I think eventually it will be, but for now it's not. We do know that this, especially solar wind, it does add energy to our system, and this is what actually can help generate lightning. Okay? Some people forget that. When our atmosphere is juiced up, it doesn't take much to get that charge to go. Okay? So that's what happens. But anyway, everything's normal there, guys. The phi angle, that's the polarity of the solar wind. Remember I said it had a charge, right? So it either has to have a negative or a positive. And whenever it flips, because it will, that's what you see here. The BZ is the angle of which it hits us. Okay? When it's in the -6 or lower, that's when it's really conditions are favorable for it to come into our system. When it's not when it's not past -6, we don't really have a whole lot to worry about. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna skip that Enlil model for a minute, but you can see the aurora, not much going on. Electron flux, same thing, not much going on there. But right here, this is the Enlil model. Now you see in my thumbnail, I was talking about models not agreeing with one another. This is NOAA. Okay, this is the Weather Prediction Center, NOAA. Space Weather Prediction Center is what I should have said. But this is their official model that they use. This is called the Enlil spiral. Alright, that's what they use. So with that being said, whatever data, however they built their model, is not going to be the exact same as other models, just so you know. Hey Ricky, what's up? So you see this density spike that has now been pushed back another day. It's not supposed to get here until between the 6th and the 7th. Okay? If you were to look at that 2 days ago, it would have shown it was going to get here on the 5th. They kept pushing it back. I don't know why. But what that is that coronal hole I just showed you guys. Okay? That's where that's coming from. That's why they're saying we're having an uptick. Now check this out. I want to show this to you too. This is a good reason here, or good way to check this. You see how stereo A has the same typical looking spike, but it's days in advance? You want to know why? Because that coronal hole that's now facing us was facing stereo A. Stereo A is right here. The Earth is here. So a coronal hole stream will affect, if it's opened up over here, will affect stereo A first. And that's exactly what this model's showing us. Okay, so if I back it up, watch the spiral here. You're going to see this hit stereo A, right when that hump happens, right there. And then days later, it hits Earth. So that should give you an idea how far away stereo A is also. At least a rough idea. Hey, Joanna, what's up? Hey, Rebel, what's up? Teresa in the house. Nita. But yeah, so you guys see that, right? Hopefully you guys understand that. Now, they've got this range of radial velocity at 700. This is the solar wind speed. That's the range they got right here, because they got stereo A getting up close to 600 there. But Earth doesn't look to be like it's going to get that high. So we're going to have to wait and see. We're not going to know until it gets here. It's really that simple. But what I want to show you guys here. Here's a CME tracker. Remember the other day I did a video and said, hey, look, man, we had a CME blow off the sun, and the CME tracker's got it hitting us right on the face, right? Well, this is NASA's model. Okay, it only updates when it sees a CME. But here's the thing. You guys remember me taking you back and showing you the sun? You know, over on SDO? And we had a hard time finding where this thing came from? So, this is showing a CME that's supposed to hit us like on the 3rd. Between the 3rd and 4th. Well, if that's the case, what's going on here? So, if you look here, this is Earth. Between the 3rd and 4th, there's nothing there. These two models are directly disagreeing with each other. So, which one do we believe? You know what I mean? What should we do? What should we believe? How can we figure out what to believe? Well, given the fact, this is what I'm going to say, okay? This is the way I think. You guys don't have to agree with me here, and that's fine. It's all good. This is just how I think. That if we looked at this right here the other day, and I went back and I showed you guys the sun, and we couldn't really find it. We found like little pops and such. And if you remember me saying that the sun was behind it, it could be camouflaging it, right? I said that because I couldn't really see a whole lot there. I seen a couple little pops, and I seen a little ripple through the atmosphere, but I really didn't see much that would, you know, cause a CME of this size. It's not a real large one. And I even made the comment that, you know, it wasn't even coming out around the occulter like a halo CME would. So with that being said, I'm not sure that this is correct. At this right now, I would have to say that this is more correct than the other. Because I simply couldn't really find a whole lot. And I think there's people out there now that are actually, so I've seen a couple other videos that were talking about the same thing here. So I don't think that we're going to get this CME. Now I could be wrong, okay? Because this model still could be right. We get what they call stealth CMEs. Or stealth solar storms. They're solar storms and CMEs that we don't see with our eyes. Okay? We can't see them. They hit us and we don't know they're coming. This one here, according to this model, this is the NASA model, it was supposed to hit us between the 3rd and 4th. Okay, so we'll wait and see. I ain't gonna say that we're not gonna get anything, because we absolutely could. But this model here is standing on its guns here, because this one here actually takes data and continuously updates. It will change its own model when it gets more data in, and it has never shown us seeing anything hitting us on the 3rd or 4th. So I'm more leaning towards this one being correct this time, just so you know. Okay. I wanted to point that out so we didn't like keep thinking that, hey, we got a CME coming. But I also want to, stress the fact that, this model could end up being correct. We just don't know until it gets here, until that time comes and passes. And yeah, it's not large, but it did, like I think I seen a comment up here. It did spread out. I think Nita said it. It did spread out pretty decent. It wouldn't have been a large one anyway. But it was going to hit, according to this model, it would have hit us right on the face. I mean, I even made the comment that I hadn't seen one hit us like that in a long time. So we're going to just have to wait and see. What's a CME? It's a coronal mass ejection. Hey, mods, can you put a link to my playlist in there for that, if you could? Excuse me. Let me go back up here. Who said that? Sorry, Shelly. I have a playlist there. It's got 4 videos on it. It's about 1.5 to 2 minutes long, and it will tell you exactly what a CME is. It's not that long, and I would suggest anybody go watch it. It gives you a real basic idea of what a coronal mass ejection is. It's essentially just plasma that gets ejected from the sun, then it gets shot out at us or anywhere else in space. That's really what it is. Simple. So yeah, if one of my mods could grab that link, I would really appreciate it and throw it in there in the chat for her. And anybody else that wants to look at it. Thanks, Tab. Appreciate that. So here we go. Now, I forgot to update these. Sorry. We'll move on to something else while these things are reloading. Let me get them reloading here real quick. That one reloaded fast. So that one. But here, what we'll do here is I do want to show you this crazy looking signature I seen. Where did I put that stupid thing? Okay, check this out. What the heck? Okay. Anyway, guess the chat are going to have to sit there for a second. But check this out, guys. Look at this. I've never seen it do this, guys. Not one time have I ever seen it do that. So, what does that mean? I'm just going to stop it there. But I just wanted to show that part to you and let you guys see that. But that was that was just a little while ago. And so let me get this stuff off here. So I've never seen it look like that, guys. Let's see if it's still doing it. It may not. We'll see. Yeah, it's still there. Okay, we can look at it here. But that's low density just right there on that side of the planet. I don't get it. And it's not really even hardly moving. It's just kind of staying there. And then here closer onto the end of the time lapse here, it kind of all fills in, I think. So we had some dense material hit us there, and look what starts to happen. So, kind of what I'm thinking here is that this is lower density, this is higher density. So it's almost like we may be getting hit directional here, and it's pushed some of the stuff to one side. That's just kind of what it looks like to me. Now, I could be completely wrong on that, but I've never seen it look like that. So if I take this, you can see how it kind of starts to go back to kind of a normal looking signature there. It's still pushing that direction. So I don't know what's going on with that. You wish the moon was there so we can get orientation? Well, I can tell you that the moon is probably, oh gosh, I'd have to go look and see what the degrees here are. The moon's probably back here. It's not nowhere near this stuff, okay? The moon's probably back here. And no, it's not millions of miles away. I hear people saying that. Let me show you this real quick. Let's go back to this. I seen somebody saying that the moon, this was like millions of miles away on this graph. It's not, okay? This is our satellites right here. The moon's, about, it's over 200,000 miles away, and this doesn't even show back like that. It's this is not millions of miles away, okay? Just so you know. When you're looking at these graphs, that's not how far we're looking. You can judge that by just simply looking at the satellites here. The satellites are not that far up there, guys. Okay? So, yes, it would be great to be... They actually used to plot the moon on this one, I think, if I remember right. But it's been a while, so don't quote me on that. I haven't seen it on here forever. But again, I could be wrong on that too. So, whoa, what was that? Hold on a minute. Wow. Look at that mess. My God. Wow, guys. That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so to explain what I'm sitting here kind of gawking at for a second, you got IMF lines right here, the blue ones. That's our connection to the sun and other celestial objects. Okay? The red ones are the closed field lines. And the black ones is what I'm kind of looking at right here. There are pole lines. They stretch off our north and south pole. And they're supposed to stretch straight back. Why are these black ones standing on their own? And curving the opposite direction? And if you look right here, guys, I don't know what's causing this either. See, I'm looking at this for the first time. You see how we got a curve here, and then we got a curve here. And they're meeting each other right in the middle. What the heck is going on right there? I don't even like to say this, but I'm going to say it. It's almost like something is just like this way, and we're back at it. I don't know. But on a first look there, and I'm not even sure that that's even, wow. That's just really crazy looking, guys. You know, I've looked at these graphs for 2 or 3 years now, and I see a lot of crazy things, okay? Sometimes I forget what I see, and I'll say, like, hey, you know, I've never seen this before, but I had, like, something similar. I can confidently tell you right now that I've never seen pole lines arch this direction and the opposite direction and meet in the middle. I have never seen that. So, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know what else to say to that. So let's just see what else this thing has got for us. Now, you know, we're looking on our magnetosphere here, guys, and remember, I just showed you solar weather that was exactly normal. So why is our magnetosphere acting like this? I would have to ask that question, just so you know. I don't think that they really should be doing these kinds of things without us getting really hard hits from the front. You know, we don't typically see these kinds of spirals and big blowouts in the back unless we get hit in the front first. And we're not. That was weird. 2237, 2240. Okay, now check this out. Look. They very seldom do this, but they did this. Check this out. You get this. Now look at the timestamp. 2237, right? And this gives us a capture every 4 minutes. That's what this model is supposed to do. Okay, that's about 4 minutes right there. 2240, 50 seconds. And then check this out. About a minute and 20 seconds later, it gives us another one. Why? And then another blowout right after it. But if you go look at the other data, there's a big blowout. Check that one out. That just happened, guys. About 3-4 hours ago. This is what I'm talking about. We're not having any uptick in solar wind, so why in the heck are we seeing this? Okay, now understand that yes, this model is the older models, one of the older models, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. It just means that it's an older model. Okay, then it kind of went back to kind of normal. The bad thing here, guys, let me show you something. See when this one blew out? Look at the timestamp at 2 whatever. Let's go back some. About right. About right there, pretty decent blowout at 2 UTC, 10 minutes, right? So if I go here and I look, we can't even get back that far, I don't think. Yeah, I guess we can. So let's take a look at it. Yep, see? It's starting to see a little bit of a density hit here. Right about 2 o'clock, right there. We did get a density hit right there. Now remember, this is just showing us density, okay? We can come down here and look at the pressure and see what it's doing pressure-wise. And it's not really causing any kind of extra pressure, but it is fluctuating, okay? Speed, it's not elevated either. Everything just looks completely normal. And remember, this is not showing us lines of magnetism. This one doesn't, okay? This one does. That's the only one I know of that actually shows us lines of magnetism. So if we go look at the Australian model, let's run this one. Now this one here is just, yeah. This is very simple. You're going to see a little bouncing around here. But again, it showed a little bit of a nothing, pretty much. Notice how all the conditions were normal. And it's not going to show that, guys. I mean, you can't go look at this right here anywhere else. I don't know of any other model that shows us the lines of magnetism. And that's what you're looking at here. So, let's, I thought I had that one updating. I guess I didn't. We'll come back to that in a second. Geoelectric field model. Hurry up and load. Daggone. But yeah. So, I don't expect us to see a whole lot here either. Because, like I said, guys, according to all the data points, you know, we're seeing a little hit right there. What time was that? About 4. But there's nothing big happening. Okay, all that is, guys, is missing data. Okay, that's all that is. If you notice, we got points here, and that's between the two sites or whatever they're using here for measuring this. Okay, so there's just a little bit of corrupted data there. Is all that is. So don't worry about that. Seeds, yeah, seeds ain't giving us nothing for the first. I seen that earlier. We can go look at this one here. This is stereo A. You're not going to see a whole lot there. But what I do want to show you is the sun diver. Okay? I showed you guys the beginning of it, and we'll look at it here real quick, okay? The stupid thing will load. Man. Okay. I just want to make sure the stream, the bit rate was fine. Man, this thing's loading slow. Man. Wow. But yeah. Huh. Come on, man. What the heck? Wish this stupid thing would stinking load. It's really starting to upset me here. I'm about to get mad. Alright, so I'm gonna show you the sun diver here. Hold on just 1 second. I'll back it up so you guys can see. It starts over here, guys. Look, see my cursor? So if I go next, you see it's racing towards the sun. That is not two objects. That's one object. That is an anomaly from the camera that happens every time. Yeah, Menacing, we've been talking about that. About the past week, we've been looking at that because you're right. So this is a comet, guys. This is diving going directly at the sun. So if we go to the next day, which would be on the 31st, let's watch this thing take 5 years to load. Okay, it didn't. Good for it. Okay, so here it is again, right there. You see it? You back it up. Okay, here it is again, and then we can click and watch. Watch how fast this thing starts moving. Boom, 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 and it's gone. You can still kind of see it right there, but that sucker dove right into the sun. Okay, so let me put this thing on full speed and watch. See that? Now, it's not nothing we ain't seen before. I get that. But this is a sun diver. It's a comet. It's going to crash into the sun. And that's what happened. It's gone now. It's no longer existent. You can see it over here too. Okay, in the red. See it? Not as well, but it's there. I'll show it to you when it comes back around here. Right about now. Oh, there. Right there. See it? I know it's harder to see over here, but I would encourage you guys to go over here and check this out. And just look at it for yourself. We've seen big, huge, arcing sun divers, man. I mean, like almost taking up half the screen and stuff. They're pretty cool when it's on there. Yes, that was fast. Yeah, Comet suicide for sure. Okay, earthquakes. I know Ricky and everybody's in here. IG's in here. I'm gonna make a comment here, and I don't know why this is happening right now. But I can tell you right now that it doesn't look like we're having. It looks like the 2.5 and greater. I think I got this set on. Yep. It just looks like we're having a lack of activity, and that, in my opinion, is not good. So, when's the last time we looked at Alaska and you didn't see anything? 2.5 or greater. I don't remember. Okay? So, stuff is slowed down. I don't know why, but it does. Why is that not good, all light? Because what happens is, for the most part, when we have an area of the world that is expected to have a certain amount of earthquakes at a certain amplitude, and you don't see it, what that means is that that pressure is probably building. Okay? And usually what happens after that, when it does decide to have another quake, it usually ends up being pretty big. It's pretty significant. Yeah, it has. It's quieted quite a bit. It has. That's, I think Ron was talking about that. I think you might have even put it in one of your videos a little bit, if I remember right. And I was talking about it, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. It just looked like things were starting to quiet down a little bit. I think I even put it in my thumbnail, if I remember right. But if we change it to all magnitudes, now listen, when I put this on here, you're going to see some quakes show up, but these are small ones. Okay, now that is good, because that means that stuff is still releasing some. But for us to have it is a downtick. Things are quieting down here, guys. So, believe what you want here. But I would push you guys over to Ricky's channel, over to Ron Tyler, Emergency Management Associates, his channel. All that kind of, all those guys over there know what they're talking about. And they can explain, they can read the seismos. I can't, so I don't even attempt to. Now I can show you, like, hey, we got solar weather coming, we should expect an uptick in earthquakes. I can say that confidently, because that happens all the time. But at the same time, I cannot explain to you what direction things are going to go, where the things are more apt to happen, all that, right? I have no prediction ability, is what I'm trying to say. I don't have that knowledge yet. I'm getting more of it. Volcanoes are explosively going off right now. Yeah. Yeah, she's right. I think some of us are kind of stuck in a corner sometimes, and we forget that volcanoes, earthquakes, all that stuff is supposed to happen. So I think we have to understand that. And the fact that, what we're talking about is the big ones is why we do what we do. And we know what to look for precursor-wise, for the most part, when things are going to be popping off big and we start seeing those signs. That's why you've seen channels like mine, channels like Ron's. There's a lot of those channels popping up because more and more people are starting to understand that something has changed. Something ain't right. And things are not the same as they used to be. Yep, the induction heating of core. Yep, exactly. That's a big subject we could talk about, but there's a lot of aspects to that. And on my end, as far as space weather, we get induction heating from solar wind. You guys know that? You can clearly see it. Let me go back here. See this? That's heat. So, yeah, Carly, Dutch predicts earthquakes, so he's really good too. I mean, yeah. I don't think Dutch talks about the seismos. I'm not sure if he knows how to read those or not, but we are getting, we get heat from a lot of different things, and this is just one of them. I talk about this because this is what I know. Ricky talks about other stuff because that's what she knows. Ron talks about other stuff. That's what he knows. That's what we do here, right? We're all not going to have the same kind of capabilities and the same kind of niche, I guess, if you want to use that word. Appreciate that, Trish. Really do. Yeah, 41 Tab says it right there. 41 active erupting volcanoes worldwide right now. So, and that, and I know, okay, this is where the difference of what me, Ricky, Ron, and others, multiple others, we know that we don't know everything. Okay? When you walk up onto somebody's channel and they're telling you they have the answer to earthquakes, they have the answer to why the sun ain't doing what it's supposed to, they have the answer to whatever's going on, why we're seeing the poles moving, why we're having glaciers moving, why we're having global weather patterns change, why I'm peeing the bed, why I had diarrhea last week, why didn't I get what I wanted for Christmas? I mean, they got all these answers, right? You better walk away from those people. Because it's impossible for one person to have all that. And I know that was a little bit extreme, but I want people to understand that. You know, we all have a piece of it. All of us. And yes, we're all going to stand by what we believe. I don't expect people to not stand behind what they believe. But they cannot come out and say they have 100% all the answers for everything. And if somebody's telling you that, please do yourself a favor and just go the other way. I'm seeing more and more channels out there do that. And it's really kind of disheartening. It really is. And yeah, I put it out there in a funny way. I get it. But you guys, you know why I do that? I like being funny, number one. Number two, people remember that now. You guys won't forget what I just said. You see what I'm saying? I put it out there in a way, now you're not going to forget it. And I think that if people would grab that just a little bit, bring it into them. Okay, just bring it into them. And let them see that. It doesn't mean that you can't get truth from those channels. But if you're going to watch people like that, I do. Okay, I watch their channels, okay? But I know what I'm looking at, okay? I know what I think is this, that, and the other, right? And I know when somebody says they know everything that they don't. That's the first key right there. When somebody says they know everything, they're essentially telling you that they don't. Ain't that kind of crazy? Now, I want to show you guys something right here on this capture that I noticed, and I hadn't talked about it yet. I want to know, and I need to take this and let Scott see this one, because I don't know the answer to this. You got pole lines, right? They're supposed to come out of the north and south pole of the Earth. The black lines I talk about. Why are both the north and south pole lines in this capture coming out of the same spot? I guarantee you there's nobody else out there that kind of noticed that. Because it's just something we get so, like, numb to this. But this is not right. This isn't right. We should have some coming off the South Pole and the North Pole. We should not have stuff coming out the same spot. Just saying. So, and that's just kind of what that's where I'll leave that, because I don't know the answer to why we're seeing it like that. And yes, it could be a tool flaw. It could. I don't know. That's why I'm not trying to say it's anything crazy. But I've never seen it. I've never seen, like, pole lines come out of, go both directions out of the same line like this, and not have anything coming out the South Pole or the North Pole here. Now, I want you guys to understand something here, okay? You see this right here. You see the closed field lines right here. That's giving you direction. Basically, we're kind of tilted this way a little bit. So the North Pole would actually be right here. Or what cut am I looking at here? Regardless, it's on one side is what I'm saying. Even if it's on the east-west, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't do that. We should be seeing, I've seen, like, pole lines not actually, like, show up. I've seen it where there weren't hardly any pole lines coming off, but I've never seen them both come out and go the other direction of each other, like the North and South Pole are in the same spot. Okay, now I know that that's not the case. The North and South Pole are not in the same spot right now. I am not saying that, because if that's the case, we wouldn't be having this conversation. What I'm saying is that is just doesn't look right to me. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Alright. Oops. Now, I'm going to go over here real quick and show you guys something here real quick. Alright. This is Mark's channel, guys. You guys hear me talk about Mark all the time. He's my good friend. Oops, sorry. I'm going to call in here in just a few minutes if he's still going to be on. I know I kind of went a little longer than what I thought I was going to. But I'm going to be calling in over here, guys. I'd like for you guys to come over here and listen. We can talk about stuff over here that I don't talk about on my channel. He's just got a different format that he does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this link, okay, in the chat here. And I'm going to head over there. I'm talking like right after I get off stream here, okay? I'm going to get in the chat. I'm going to talk to Mark. I'm going to text Mark and see if he still wants me to call in. I'm pretty sure he does. It is, you know, it's weekend now, so I know it's kind of late, but I'm going to try to, you know, call in over there. And like I said, guys, you'll notice that a lot of us here, if you guys haven't been over here to Mark's channel yet, you'll notice that a lot of people, oops, that you see here are over here. Okay? You just will. You'll see a lot of people over here. This is a positive thing over here, guys. This is what we laugh. He's awesome. He's now doing, he's back to dropping some albums. He hasn't made an album in 13 years. And he's now has dropped one. And he's using his improv music that he does on his YouTube channel. And he had, you know, like I said, he was a finalist in VH1 Song of the Year a few years back. He had the opportunity to sign a big record deal and turned it down. He has a family. He's a real estate agent. Got a family of, you know, of 5. Him, his wife, and 3 kids. So, please, guys, come over here. And let's show him some Wages World love. And, you know, come over and I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna try to call back in and see if he still wants me to. I don't think it's too late because he didn't start till late tonight. And we're gonna talk about some things. It's called Real Talk for a reason. Because I'm very, very honest over there and here, but I'm able to say what I need to. And he does too. Now it's positivity. It's a positivity platform, so we try to keep it positive, but we talk about real subjects. He makes me laugh. He gave me the opportunity to put positivity back into my channel. So that's the great thing about what I get over here. There was a time, guys, about a year ago, not even a year ago, probably 6 months ago, I almost shut my channel down because I was so tired of all the negativity. And I know I'm putting out real information, but guys, it's a negative by nature, okay? And it gets to me. I'm not wired that way. I have to have a balance, and I wasn't finding it. I just wasn't. And I found a great friend here and found you guys. And a lot of you guys have come over here and we're able to be who we are. So I really hope that you guys come over here and give this a chance. I really do. I'm never not going to promote Mark's channel. I want you guys to know that. So please come over here and check it out. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to go get in the chat. I'm going to try to call in, and me and Mark are going to have a talk, and we're going to talk. Yes, check out Ron Tyler's too. Yeah, I promote Ron all the time. Ricky, where are you at? You still in here? Everybody, you guys need to you guys need to check out Ricky's channel. She just started hers. Let me go to my subscriptions. I should have done this earlier. That way more people would have been on here. Here's Ricky's channel, guys, okay? So please, go over here, show her some love. We got to support each other. Please, go throw her a subscription. Check out some of her content. I'm going to drop her link right here in the chat. So, go sub over here to Ricky's channel, and then pop over to Mark's. Show her some love. Let's get her up over 1,000. That 1,000 mark is what she needs to get monetized. So let's do that and show her some love, and let's just do it. All right. Got you guys. Anybody else that's on here, especially, you know, my mods can drop links. If you've got a channel, Christine, you do great work too. Guys, please drop your links in there anytime you want. You're not going to offend me. You're not going to make me mad. Okay. My mods have free reign to do that. I don't reel that in. So if you could, guys, just yeah. And it takes all of us. We got to support each other. So I am going to get off here, guys. I'll try to come back tomorrow with another video. So God bless. I'll see you guys over there at Mark's channel. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.